I have 9-year-old twins, and then I have boys starting at 28. So there was a big lapse in there, too, when I was not pregnant. And that's when I was diagnosed after giving birth to my third child. So it was a long period of time that wasn't the case. I'm not sure if the hormones have anything to do with it, but it was kind of like a miracle that I got pregnant when I did. And I wouldn't know if that's a good answer to that question, but.
As soon as I was diagnosed, I came to the first symposium and I got one of your books, and it really helped me. It made me not be afraid.
Oh, thank you.
It made me do all the natural stuff that you were doing, as well as trying the meds as well, because the doctors, just like Dr. Weiner said, we don't know how everybody will be affected. Not everybody gets it the same. So my doctor said the same thing. We don't know if it's going to stay light. But I did all the natural stuff that you do, and I did both. So I wanted to make sure I covered myself.
Oh, thank you so much. I believe you know, I think you have to do it all. As much as you can, you have to find out what works for you, and it's definitely not one size fits all, and especially with all the new medications coming out so fast. I don't believe that any one medication is great for everybody, and I think you really need to be empowered when you go to a doctor to please write down a list and remember all the things to tell your doctor, because your doctors can never read your mind as much as you think that, you know, there's a natural protocol. Everybody with MS has such varying degrees of the disease or symptoms and different things that are happening. I think it's very important to be very proactive and be very prepared if you go to the doctor to explain all the things as you're being put on a new medication, to say you have problems with this or this thing works. And it's really important that the more information you put in, the better answer you will get out for the right thing that works for your body.
Can I just ask, when you talked about Dr. Terry's the diet, and you said you don't recommend we follow that diet, but I really would love to know why, what it is about that you poo-poo, and what you think it lacks, and be a bit more helpful as to us as to what.
I think if you want to follow a diet, you either follow Dr. Roy Swank's low-fat diet, or
The Terry Well's.
I understand that. It's an unbalanced diet. She's pushing a paleo diet, which is a flawed theory of health.
From what I read, though, it's basically lots of fruit and vegetables and nuts, and I'm not quite sure what you don't like about it. It seems amazing to me to, I can't do it because it's so hard to do, and you have to be very strict. But I can't understand what it is that's so bad about good, organic food.
Well, if you actually do a paleo diet, you also have to eat kidney and liver and all the parts of the meat. So.
Rarely, and it's not every day. Most of the time it's just lots of fruit and lots of vegetables and nuts, and occasionally those things. Now, wouldn't you like to take that as
Good in
being a
every
thing?
diet, though, right? Fruits and vegetables. That would be good in any diet.
Well, that's why I'm not asking that. I mean, you kind of poo-poo the thing. I'm like, what is it about it?
Well, wait a minute. Well, why don't we talk about it afterwards? I poo-pooed it because it's being pushed as a cure for MS, and I don't believe that whatever it is that's got her so that she's now riding a bike 18 miles a day, when she was in a wheelchair for 5 years, is not because of the diet. And I don't think people should be going on that diet because they think they're going to be able to get up and walk again.
What do you think it is then?
We can talk about it, but I just assume they can not make any more comments about it.
The MRI before diet and after diet. Yeah, there is some natural history data that shows before we had treatments, about 75% of people who were diagnosed with MS between a 5 and 10 year period would be disabled. Now that's true, it's a Mayo Clinic study, which means it's around Minnesota, and that may not be a general statement for all of the population, but it's the data we have for this kind of information. That figure now is closer to 25% after 10 years. So the medications have made the difference here. Now, the time is not, it's not an extensive time, but clearly the patients who have been treated in the last 20 years are doing better than the ones in the past 30 or 40 years before we had treatments. And that was, these are patients where the numbers have been reversed who have been getting medication, interferon, Copaxone to begin with, and other kinds of medications. So the natural history of this disease showed 25% did not get disabled. Now, if you could tell me how we could identify that group, I'll put you on your diet, because they're not going to get sick. But right now, we can't. So 75% before we had treatments in a 5 to 10 year period would be disabled.
Don't we
And-
have a lot more disease now than we did 100 years ago?
We do, but it may be also part of it that we're recognizing it. We have MRIs, and quite clearly, not every woman who can't move their right arm is hysterical, which 100 years ago they would have been diagnosed. We'd be happy to answer questions afterwards.
I think so. We are supposed to conclude this session now, and if you have some more questions to ask as soon as it's over, please feel free to come up and ask whichever doctor you would like to ask. But I really, really want to thank everybody for coming today. I learn a lot every time I listen to all of you talk. There's so much happening. It's a disease that you really need to stay on top of because everything is changing so fast. I'm very excited to have everybody here, and especially the doctors who flew in from all over the place who are amazing and spending their lives doing brilliant research so that we can all benefit in our lives. So thank you all for being here, and thank you.
Mark your calendars for May 3rd. Our next forum will be May 3rd right here at the Hyatt Century Plaza.